Hello everybody and welcome to your first lesson on the final part of the private reading project. Now these slides are going to be about the gold level of the project, so if you've decided to do a different level then you'll need to come away from this video and find the video lesson that applies to the level that you would like to do. Okay, so what's the plan going to be for the next few lessons? Well, today for lesson 1 we're going to be talking about beginning our projects. Lesson 2 will talk about the main body. Lesson 3 is going to focus on finishing off. And lesson 4 is going to be about taking pride in our work, checking it against the success criteria and making sure that they look brilliant. So just as a quick reminder about the private reading project, remember that it began way back in August and that the aim of the project was to encourage everybody in S1 and S2 to do more reading for pleasure, and to make sure that you all had an opportunity to achieve a certificate and complete something that you can be very, very proud of. So over the next few lessons we'll be focusing on the final part of the project, and you'll each be working towards a different goal: bronze, silver, gold or platinum. And this is the lesson for gold. So what exactly is gold level and what will you need to be doing? Well, first of all, you need to complete a 600-word piece of extended writing, and that will need to include a report on the author and a review of one of the books. Or if you prefer, you can do that same task instead of writing it as a piece of extended writing, you can do it in the form of a 5-minute long vlog. But you need to include all of the same information. As well as doing your extended writing or your vlog, you will also need to create a poster on the author and their books. And please remember that to achieve gold level, all of your novels must be by the same author. So how are we going to do it? Well, in the beginning, we're going to be talking about how to get started and what you will need to include. Then we'll talk about how to flesh out the main content of your project in the middle. We'll finish off by talking about how to round up your project in an effective way. And last of all, we'll look at how you can take pride in your work by checking it against the success criteria and making sure that it's the very best work you can do. Getting started then on the gold level. Remember that we need to do this in 2 parts. So part 1 is the extended writing or the vlog, and part 2 is the poster. So for your extended writing, you can complete that using one of the following: Word, Pages, paper and pen, or you can use something like iMovie if you would prefer to do this as a 5-minute long vlog. So it's up to you to decide which way you would like to complete this task. And no matter how you've decided to complete the task, whether it's as a piece of extended writing or as a 5-minute long vlog, you'll need to include the same things from this checklist. So, detailed information about the author's life and career, a personal response to the stories that you read, a note about the title, the author and the genre. You'll need to make sure that it's 600 words long, or 5 minutes if you're doing it as a video. And it also needs to include an informative review of one of the 3 books. So you'll see as part of today's lesson that space has been provided next to your OneNote slides, where you'll be able to jot down a quick note about what you'd like to say for each of these sections. So you should pause the video and fill that out now. Fab. So remember, this is a 2-part job, so we've talked about the checklist for the review and the extended writing, and now we need to talk about the checklist for your poster. So you can use one of the following things to create your poster: the Book Creator app on your iPad, you can use Word, Pages, or good old-fashioned pen and paper. Once you've decided how you're going to make it, then you need to make sure that you include the things from this checklist. So you need to include pictures of the various book covers, information about the author's books, a little bit of information about the author's personal background, a note about their career as a writer, so how did they get started, have they won any awards, things like that, and who would you recommend them to and why. And to help you out with that as part of today's lesson, what we're going to be doing is making a poster plan. So this is a rough draft of a poster plan that I made up just to show you what the layout could look like, so don't worry too much about what's actually written on the poster, it's just a visual aid. So what you'll include are things like an interesting title, space where you'll be adding in the cover images and information about the various books, maybe extra pictures to help you make the poster look really brilliant. You might want to jot down on your plan where those extra pictures might go. A space where you're going to write your recommendation, so who would you recommend the books to? And finally, an area where you're going to include information about the author's personal background and writing career. So you can do your poster plan today as something that you handwrite on a piece of paper, or you can just write it directly onto the OneNote page. If you do it on a piece of paper, please take a picture and add it to the bottom of the OneNote page. And obviously, if you're doing it directly on the page with your finger or an Apple Pen, then just make sure that it is down below the slides. So pause the video and have a go at that now. And that's the end of today's lesson. Well done, and just remember to speak to your teacher if you need help with anything that we've covered during today's class.